We know that you hate Trump. That has been abundantly obvious.
Yes,
I
we
actually
do.
think that Trump out of office
For good reason.
was a good thing for your show because it allowed you to.
It's not about my show, Candace.
No.
That's insulting.
No.
That's insulting.
I'm saying because people that weren't watching your show, that you didn't let me finish. You can't be told by sentence I didn't finish.
No, but you keep
I was
implying
going to say that
people
that did not watch your show because there was so much dedication to talking about Trump during those years. Then were switched onto your show because you moved on and you started talking about other topics that were crucial and I think brought in more of a conservative. Just thought to myself, if I was going to fake it, the easier thing would have been to be faking a BLM crazy liberal. I would have crushed it. I would have had, do you know how much money I would have made if I...
Candace Owens trigger Libras, we understand. Bima hate Trump. And Candace Owens was so bold in such a way that I didn't actually expect to see what happened. Being a consecutive as a black person can be extremely difficult to a certain level. I was actually impressed when I saw this on this series with Maher. Pregnant Candace Owens was able to bring out a lot of topics, during this debate. They disagree at a certain point, but come to a compromise. That is how it's supposed to be. I have been saying this when I look at how people, like this, sitting on different topics and disagreeing, agreeing, it makes me happy.
I get what you're saying.
So I don't think they all. You don't think Nikki Haley?
No, I think she's going for she's running to secure wealth because she started her career
to do what?
Well, she was like millions of dollars into debt, right? And now she's got money pouring into her coffers. I think they all have incentives, and I'm not saying any of them are pure, but I think they're different incentives. I think Nikki is motivated by money, and I think that she, like Vivek said on stage, is actually looking for a deal with like Raytheon or something.
This is how much they all wanted to. I noticed many of them purposely, I'm sure they know better, mispronounced Vivek's name.
They did.
Just to get the idea. This person, foreigner, funny name. Vivek, is it?
Vivek.
Vivek, what is your... But when Nikki Haley did it, fellow Indian American, I was like, oh, yeah, Nikki, not you
I
too.
Know.
You don't know how to say his name?
I know.
I don't think so.
Just thought to myself, if I was going to fake it, the easier thing would have been to be faking a BLM crazy liberal. I would have crushed it. I would have had, do you know how much money I would have made if I leaned into a liberal leftist? They would have had me on every media. I would have been on the cover. I would have been Time's most influential person.
You could be hosting the nightly news.
So how much money would I be making right now if I had just gone left? That's why I was challenging them. If I really was about the money, this is the route I would have gone.
It is not easy being a black conservative.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
It's horrible because they're constantly telling you that it can't be real. Okay, so even my marriage is a sham. I even married someone who's conservative.
And also, like when they do polling, the majority of black people are not liberal.
No.
They're moderate and more conservative than whites.
On certain issues, especially like LGBTQ stuff.
Yes.
Black people are far right.
Far right, yes.
Have been for a very long time.
Yes.
So you like the trans stuff is not selling in the black community and things of that nature. Black men are definitely leaning much more conservative these days, which makes sense because of the way they were going back to me saying like I was raised conservatively actually, and then kind of something happens in public school where you kind of learn that you kind of have to be a liberal. And then I was liberal. I would describe myself as liberal. I wasn't voting Democrat or anything, but I was very liberal in college. Very like everything, feminism. We need feminism.
What years are we talking about?
I graduated high school in 2007, so 2007 to 2011.
So the beginning of Obama, you were a liberal.
I cried when Obama won.
Well, so should a conservative. So should a conservative.
Who didn't? Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting. And so then people use that against me, and we're like, well, that shows that you're doing. And when they say they're doing this for the money, I'm like, you're an effing idiot. If I was doing this for the money, I would be the best BLM.
Yes, one thing I like about Maher is just the fact that he's allowing every person, to share their opinions. Going through the comment sections of that video, I realized Libras were not happy, after Candace Owens appeared on this show. She is not actually the only person I've seen appear on Maher. They talk on topics like Big Pharma. When you take a look at this article, Candace Owens exposes Big Pharma on Maher show. Kids have never been sicker. These are topics, in other shows, they will not allow you, to even touch on things like these. Candace Owens has been viral on social media recently, going off on people who says, oh, don't cancel the student of Harvard. They should be able to, re-educate them, on what they said, pertaining to what is happening in Palestine. They also touched on what I was more concerned was this consecutive personality. Candace Owens put a spotlight on homogeneous vague mandate over the weekend, telling HBO host Maher that kids have never been sicker as a result of requirement that they receive a plethora of vague before they are allowed into schools, daycare, and other public settings, despite their political differences. Ma and Owens found common grounds on the need for individuals to decide for themselves which verb to take and level of risk they are willing to accept that adverse event will occur. Maher first raised the specter of children receiving VAC against their will, and in children who never needed it for this, the least likely to become sick. Maher stated before Owens jumped in. They are so sick. I start my series by asking those kids have never been vac. We are the most vac country in the entire world. We have this high infant mortality rate, which I don't even want to go deep into this because sometimes this topic can which I don't even want to go into this because sometimes these topics are controversial in this platform. Another segment on this same video, Candace Owens said, if I was a Libra, I could have made a lot of money. And Bimaha accepted this point. You could have been on MMBC or CNN and taking out a huge box, which is the truth. Candace Owens sticking to her decision to be a consecutive, it is something we all know. Being a consecutive as a black person can be extremely difficult, but people will not understand. People will hate you because it is like everyone is siding on the left, then you just decide to go on the right, then you don't have backing behind you. Black people will not support you. But I'm glad to see the level at which black people are rising up to realize that it's not supposed to be like that. Just in this 2023, we have seen a lot of black people who have realized and decided to support Trump. It is to tell you how things are changing.
The thing that I'm trying to get you to say, though, we know that you hate Trump. That has been abundantly obvious.
Yes,
I actually
we do.
think that Trump out of office
for good reason.
Was a good thing for your show because it allowed you to.
It's not about my show, Candace.
No.
That's insulting.
No.
That's insulting.
I'm saying because people that weren't watching your show, that you didn't let me finish. You can't insult my sentence I didn't finish.
No, but you keep
I was
implying
going to say
that
people that did not watch your show because there was so much dedication to talking about Trump during those years, then were switched onto your show because you moved on and you started talking about other topics that were crucial and I think brought in more of a conservative base.